And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Testimonial Tuesday. We've got an awesome Testimonial Tuesday lined up for all of you that are sitting at home. Tonight we are going to be talking about earth greens. If you haven't heard what earth greens are, they're incredible and you need to get some. Earth greens are awesome. They are whole, green, alkaline, raw vegetables. And but before we get started, I am going to introduce to you to our two special guests for tonight. I have Jana Szabo. She's from Whidbey Island in Washington. She's a great friend of mine as well, and an incredible wellness warrior. She has also developed spa products in the past. She did that for about 15 years, so she definitely has great value, especially when it comes to product line. She's also a sound healer practitioner, a voice coach for the last 30 years, and also a Reiki master. So Jana, welcome. Thank you so much for taking some time out and being here with us on the Testimonial Tuesday.
Thank you for having me, Amanda. Thanks, Chris, everybody.
And we also have Chris and Jen Notfall out from Maine. Chris is a type 1 diabetic, so he's going to be talking about that. If you know anybody that is a diabetic, any family members, he'll be able to share his experiences with what alkalizing his body has done. As well. And Jen is here. She's a physical therapist. She's been a physical therapist for the last 10 years. And they are both parents of 4 little children that are so adorable. Welcome, Jen and Chris. Thanks for coming on the Hangout with us tonight.
Thank you.
And also, Chris has an incredible page on Facebook called The Organic Diabetic. I've seen a lot of movement there, so thanks for all you do. I really appreciate that. I know my father suffers from, I shouldn't really say suffers, because he's really managed his diabetes. He's a type 2 diabetic. Every morning, you know, he's up and at it, exercising, drinking his greens. He's a big one for B-tabs as well. But today we're going to focus on the earth grains. So these are them. And it's 100% organic, alkaline, and just listen to these incredible ingredients for a second. And I do have a couple of notes about them too, so we'll go into that. But organic alfalfa leaf, organic barley grass, wheatgrass, and I won't go organic every single time. I'll just read through the ingredients. They're all organic. That's what we are. This is what we do here. So wheatgrass, spinach, aloe vera, camut grass, parsley leaf, lemongrass, kale, spearmint leaf, broccoli, cabbage, peppermint leaf, celery, dandelion root. There is just so much incredible, incredible nutrition in this beautiful, beautiful bottle. And there's 100 servings here. So that's equivalent to what? What does that come out to? I think, Chris, you had a number on that. I remember you.
It comes out to almost like 50 cents a serving, which is really, you know, when you're looking at organic fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, it's really unheard of. You know,
it really is.
If you were to go out, you know, and grab 5.5 pounds of organic vegetables at the supermarket, you're probably going to be spending considerably a lot more than you would with the earth greens.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And, you know, especially this time of year, I live up in Canada. I'm in Ontario, and it is cold here. We don't have gardens this time of year. No, no, no. And neither in Maine. Whidbey.
Yep,
What about you, Jana? I mean, do you have, is it snowing there? Like, do you guys get snow?
No, we had snow, and there isn't a frost, and so there's some gardening, but this time of year there's a lot of greenhouse activity. But we have a very large farming community here all around, all year round, because people come to the Green Bank Farm, and they come here from all over the country to study different sorts of farming. We have winter farming too, but we haven't had snow. I mean, we did once, but no.
Right. So the thing is a lot of us have a hard time finding organic vegetables, especially this time of year, and this is a great option. First thing in the morning, what do? I have my greens. I have my greens sometimes even in the afternoon when, you know, you start to feel like you're lagging a little bit. The greens just, boom, energy, instant energy, you know. So, yeah, they're awesome, and it improves also the cleansing of your body and of your bowels and of your intestines. It improves your cholesterol. It improves your blood sugar, and I'd really like to go to Chris right now because I know you have an incredible testimonial on the greens. You've been using many of our supplements. Tell us what you've seen, what you've felt since you've started on Essante Organics Earth Greens.
Yeah, thanks, Amanda. You know, for those who don't know, I was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic really late in life. I was 28 years old. I was diagnosed 8 years ago out of the blue. You know, completely turned my world upside down. And, you know, at that point, I basically had to kind of come across and really change my diet. And, you know, Jen here, you know, my wife, helped me with that. And, you know, the Earth Greens is just one of the changes that I've made since I've joined Essante because, honestly, I'm running around with 4 children. I don't have the time, and I really don't get the recommended daily allowance that I should each and every year, or each and every day, I should say. And these are absolutely perfect. Like a lot of the points that Amanda said, you know, in terms of cleansing and alkalizing the body and really trying to, you know, increase my immunity and my metabolism. And, you know, I really wasn't getting those vegetables that I needed. And as a diabetic, I mean, we're already compromised. We have compromised immune systems as well, you know, to begin with. And, you know, being a type 1, that's, you know, an autoimmune disease for me. So, you know, my immune system already right off the bat is, you know, a little out of whack anyway. So, you know, these really help me, and, you know, I take 2, 3, sometimes 4 a day, and I feel great. You know, my energy levels are up. You know, I mean, is it a cure-all for type 1 diabetics? Absolutely not. When it, you know, you say improve blood sugar, you know, does it help cleanse the blood? Absolutely. Is it taking, do I still need to take my insulin? Yes, absolutely. You know, it's not a cure per se for diabetes, but in terms of just from a health standpoint, you know, 1 small scoop, 5.5 pounds of, you know, organic vegetables, it's just, it's amazing. And it's, like we said earlier, it's only, you know, 50 cents a serving, which is really unheard of to get. You know, I challenge a lot of people to go out there and just go to your local supermarket. You know, the price of stuff like that can get really expensive, and these are just a really great, you know, alternative and supplement for me and, you know, my diet and, you know, my family. You know, it's just, you know, between the amino acids and the electrolytes that are in them as well, you know, just to keep me hydrated. It's been amazing. It's been really great.
That's awesome. And it must have been seriously a shock when you found out 8 years ago that, hey, I've got diabetes. Did you feel anything different in your body?
I did. I was, and it was weird. Jen probably, actually, I know she did, not probably. She recognized the signs a lot sooner than I did. But looking back on it, I had all the classic signs. You know, I was getting up at night. I had to go to the bathroom. You know, and I was getting up 4, 5, 6 times a night just to go to the bathroom. And, you know, I had excessive thirst. I was extremely tired, which I just kind of, you know, contributed that to, you know, I was a new dad. You know, I had a 16-month-old at the time, and my daughter was just born. So in terms of being tired, I just kind of thought, you know, it was the kids and the running around and being up at 2 in the morning and the 1 a.m. diaper changes and just that whole change of the schedule. And, you know, ironically enough, I caught it early enough where, you know, I had a doctor's appointment. You know, I think it was sometime that month. I got diagnosed. I believe it was in June, early June. It was in the summertime.
It was off a blood test. It was
Yeah.
a routine. It was a routine checkup, and something had come back funny with his lab work. I had called to try to get those results. You know, trying to say, you know, I know what the results are. Why don't you just tell me what they are? And at that point, they had kind of squeaked out that his sugars were high, and at that moment, I knew. He really didn't know that much about it, and our lives changed, for sure. And, you know, all things happen for a reason. I believe that we are more diligent and more healthful now than we were. And, you know, we want the best for our children. And, you know, for me, the changes that I've seen in him, you know, I think are more subtle. I think they're more, you know, I think he's more health conscious. He always has been, but I think it's more now. He definitely, you know, I can attest that he does have the greens about 3 or 4 times a day. I see that green stuff all the time. And it's, I think as far as like his sugars, I don't see as much of a dip in his sugars anymore as a result. Usually when you have carbohydrates, which, you know, vegetables are, you have to account for the protein content, the carbohydrate content, and then accordingly take insulin for that. When I see him have the greens, I'm not seeing him adjusting his insulin quite so much. You know, he seems to be in a better mood most of the time, which is helpful. So for me, that's just the changes I've seen in him, which is encouraging me to get in on it, to be honest.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for, you know, the wife's perspective, seeing, you know, everything that Chris has been going through and how it's changed even in his energy, you know, and his metabolism. I'm always seeing Chris posting about going to the gym and exercising and working out. So kudos to you, Chris, for everything that you're doing. Was there anything else that you wanted to add on to that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, too, because these are, you know, sweetened with stevia. You know, if I was to have 5.5 pounds of vegetable, you know, I would be taking probably
More insulin for it.
4, 5, 6, maybe 7, even up to 10 units of insulin, which is the equivalent for me to about 100 grams of carbs. That's not the case with these. I take no insulin, which is pretty amazing.
So he's not taking as much medication to regulate himself with the greens.
Okay. I think I just want to make a quick correction because I think you mentioned that there was stevia in the greens, but I know that there's stevia in the reds, but there is none in the greens.
Oh, there's none in the greens, okay.
No, there is absolutely zero sugar content, but in our reds there is stevia.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. That's awesome. I also had an incident occur with my mother recently. My mom went in for, she had to go in for a checkup, a CT scan, and she has an allergy to iodine. So they ended up giving her a dose of prednisone.
Yep.
Now, what happened days after she was trying to detox all of this medication, all of the radiation through her system, she got really sick. I mean, she was tired, she was fatigued, she couldn't get up out of bed, like she just wanted to sleep a lot. And I said, Mom, what's going on? She goes, I don't know, ever since I had my CT scan, I am just feeling so low in energy, I'm jittery, I feel nervous. And I said, Mom, check your pH balance. Do you know what it is? And she goes, no, what do I do? You know? And I said, Mom, remember the strips that I got you, you know, for your birthday? And she's like, yeah, they're in my cupboard. And I said, okay, I want you to go and get them, and I want you to test your pH. And so she went, she tested it. She's like, what? It didn't change. And I said, so it's yellow, it's acidic. And for some of you on this Hangout that may not understand what it means to be alkaline or acidic, we're going to go through that in just a moment, okay? And my mom ended up, I told her, I said, Mom, get your greens out that I got you also for your birthday. And she goes, oh, the one's up in my cupboard that I haven't even opened yet. You know, the thing is it's right there. And it's interesting, until you have that 911, some people will just not even think anything of it. They won't even want to take anything until they're sick or until there's something wrong, you know. And so she brought the greens down, and I told her to take them every 2 hours. By the end of the day, her energy was back, her alkalinity was right up there, and it's amazing what these greens can do. I mean, I put it on I have a little Shih Tzu, a little puppy, and I actually put a scoop on her food every day. I mean, it's good for us, it's good for the dog, it's good for the animals as well, right? And Jana actually just experienced something over the last couple of months, right, Jana? Maybe you'd like to go through that and explain what happened to you and how the greens helped.
Okay, to start, thanks, Amanda and Chris. That was very informative. Thank you, Jen. But I started out with high alkalinity. I've been have a Kangen machine and also taking the grains all the time. And I have had some chronic problems in the past, and I'll mention the one so that when I talk about what happened later, you'll understand. I've had my candida under control, and I haven't had any problems with it really, except maybe some symptoms, but never any skin systemic problems. I've never had any systemic problems ever in my life. Okay, just to start with. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I developed the shingles. I did have chicken pox when I was younger, and I did have a very stressful time. And so, but remember, my alkalinity level was very high, but the shingles was about 5 nights of no sleep because it was gradually getting worse, and I didn't know what it was. And it started here on my neck anyway, and then it got to my glands, and it was really scary for me because up here you just don't know what's going to happen, and it's a strange feeling. And so I had to go to the emergency room. And I had a lot of things here that I was trying to do, but it wasn't helping me. So I went to the emergency room, and of course I got medicine, which helped me sleep, and it helped my nerves stop bothering me, because once you start itching, it's not a regular itch, just goes through your entire, it's like a prehistoric chicken pox. It's like the chicken pox gone bad. So after that, the itch, when I could, I went off the meds because I thought it was going away, and then I went on some Chinese herbs that I went from a Chinese doctor in the city, and then they ran out, and then I thought a friend passed away, and then the stress came back. He's passed away in his sleep. Long story short, I just want to get to the point here, and then I started on the meds again, and then I started to. What happened is that my skin was getting worse and worse, and I started to have very serious systemic issues that were getting worse and worse, and then I was allergic to some medicines, and they put me on prednisone. And no, I wasn't asked if I had candida. No, I wasn't asked if I had any of these things. Fair enough, but I didn't know to say it because I found out later that when this was getting worse and worse, I just was holding on to a boat for, the edge of a boat for dear life. And I thought, what am I going to do? So I decided quick that I was going to go off the prednisone. I had some horrible symptoms that I won't get into, but I knew that it was life or death, and it couldn't be worse than this if I went off it, even though you're not supposed to go off it on your own. Anyway, so I called the pharmacist, a natural healer on the island and a naturopath. They asked me to call the pharmacist. I called the pharmacist, and they did say that yes, prednisone does exacerbate candida, and it's not good to take. So what happened to me, I had a systemic issue pretty much all over my body. And my skin was getting thin, and all the different side effects that you can look up about prednisone. I had a lot of them. Anyway, so the recommendation from one of my healing practitioners was exactly this. She told me to bring all of my supplements with me, and I had a bag full of a lot of things. She said, just like Amanda would say to me, which she has said to me before, she said 6 scoops of this product a day, 1 gallon of water, 4 tablespoons of cold-pressed organic coconut oil, aloe vera externally and internally, and colloidal silver. I had to do that for 2 weeks. Just that. In an alkaline, I got better. I mean, it was unbelievable. But when I got off, I had like a 7.9 alkaline system before I got ill. But when I started that, I was totally acidic. I couldn't even believe it. I put the strip in my mouth, and it was yellow. It was very scary to me because I couldn't get rid of the problems that I had systemically, and it was just, I really had to. I used to be a raw foodist, and I really had to look at my life again and go, okay, I've hurt my liver. Then I went to a naturopath too, and he uses bioenergetics, which is a German technique to scan all your organs to find out what organs are depleted. So my liver was completely depleted. I was like 1 to 20. I was down to a number 15 after I had seen this one healing practitioner that they kind of worked together. And he said, well, according to what you have written here, you should have been worse. I said, that's because Julie Keegan, my first practitioner in the cleanse that I was on. So that's the earth greens. And I'm probably now going to be a vegetarian or a vegan because of my new diet and what's helping me and healing me. I have a second chance again at life, quality of life, because of my earth greens and the Essante organics products and the direction I now have from these healing practitioners. And I'm really, I couldn't have helped going the medical route this time, but I did get very confused at a certain point because you do have to be your own doctor. Heal thyself. You have to be your own doctor, and the medical world does expect you to come in with a list of your own allergies first, and they will write all that down. And now I'm going to have a designated healthcare surrogate because I live on my own. So I have 3 people that know what So this has been an incredible learning experience for me. Everybody, and Amanda, you have been a great guide, and definitely always in the back of my mind through this process going, even when I couldn't talk to you, going, yes, you're right, Amanda, you're just right, and you're really a great friend because of it, really, because you save lives, and I'm saving lives too. I'm helping other people, but it was the first time in forever that I was going down the hill. Even though I've always supported the organic farmer, but it can happen to anybody, and it happened to me, so I'm proof. And then we also have the capsules. We also have the capsules, so you can take, if you're on the run and you can't drink a green drink, there's no excuse. You can take the capsules. It's the same product.
Absolutely, Jana. Thank you so much for that. I remember how you were feeling. I remember what you were going through, and I also remember when you were really bad, how you really, we didn't speak for a little while, and then when we did speak, so it's very important to have a medical surrogate as well, so that if anything were to happen, for sure you're taken care of. I love you. I'm so grateful that everything is okay now. But very important, listen to your body, right? Listen to your body, always. And Jan and you, when it was time to go to the emergency room, you can heal your body, but when you know you have to go to the emergency room, go to the emergency room. So well done on that. I wanted to also share, oh, Jana, quickly, can you explain what it means to be alkaline?
Well,
like in a minute, 1 minute, because we have just a few minutes left.
Well, cancer cells can't live in an alkaline environment in my studies, and I've done a lot of studies on this. And then personally, I also know a lot about the imbalance of intestinal flora in the body, and that is where the bacteria is imbalanced. And a lot of us that have eaten wheat and taken a lot of antibiotics in our life just innately have that. That's why we bloat and have these kind of problems and different things. But it leads to can lead to candida, which is a breeding place for cancer. So if you have an alkaline system, your intestinal flora can rebalance, and your organs will work, and there's a lot of fluidity. Plus, this particular grains is 750 megahertz negatively charged, so it bypasses the digestive system, and it goes directly to the blood and to the organs. So it's just like a jet, and it brings the alkalinity up faster because the intestinal flora can get back to working in its natural, good way.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And to be an alkaline, that's where our shake comes from, 7.365, right? Anything over 7.3 is alkaline. So I've got the greens here. See how, can you see the negative charge on it, the fur?
Yep.
Yeah.
How incredible is that? Actually, it's popping. Do you see it pop? It's popping right onto my skin right now. So literally, our cells are positive, and so it absorbs the negative charge, the greens, right into our system. Boom, right into the cells.
Right.
And it gives oxygen to the cells. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So I just absolutely love this product. I refer it to everybody. If you've never tried them, I highly suggest that whoever referred you to this Hangout, make sure you get some at home. It's so important. My son had the stomach flu a few weeks ago, and I just juiced him some apple juice and threw in a scoop of greens, had him drink it down, every 2 hours. He was fine by the end of the night. Done. It was done. And again, I'm not going to say that it cures any disease, but it does help. It absolutely does help. I have a great testimonial from Carrie Rodin. She said, my husband has tendinitis in his elbow, and he cannot even hold our kids with his bad arm. So I told him to take some greens. He was like, whatever, it's not going to help. Well, to his surprise, it stopped hurting like within 15 to 20 minutes. So it's great for inflammation. For me, I used to be so tired by the time my husband got home from work, and now I am good till at least 11. Also, I have bad condition in my feet where my bones are fused together. I have extremely bad pain in my ankles from it. I got medically discharged from the Marines for it. The only thing I was told would help, or I would get arthritis and it would continue to worsen, was extreme surgery. But ever since I started taking the greens, I have no pain at all. Love it. Thank you, Essante Organics. Eileen Jackson, she was on a previous Hangout with us. She has a great testimonial. She says, I have a condition called angioedema. Is that it? Angioedema. A number of things: eating or touching nightshades, tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, peppers, red greens, chilies of all kinds. Pressure or scratching or sun will cause my face to swell. And I saw a picture. I should have actually had it for this Hangout. It can be life-threatening. I've been on prednisone and antihistamine since 2004. Whenever I'd stop the prednisone, I'd have an outbreak, until I discovered greens, the earth greens, and an alkaline diet, as well as the low histamine diet. By staying in the alkaline range, I have managed to keep myself free from swelling for over 3 months, and if I do dip into an acidic range, I begin to swell. It is the best indicator that being alkaline is really the natural healing state of the body. I love the earth greens.
Wow.
I've got another one from Christine Pyle. She says, my 4-year-old daughter, who calls herself Super Tangled, refers to the reds and greens as her pixie dust. She asked for both to be mixed into her oatmeal in the morning to make her strong and give her superpowers. And wouldn't it definitely give her superpowers? And I have a little secret. Every morning I make a smoothie for my son. He actually doesn't know this, but I throw in a scoop of greens, and I'm whispering because he's downstairs, but I throw in a scoop of greens into a smoothie. So I'll juice, apple and orange, and then I throw it into, my NutriBullet. I'll throw in frozen whatever kind of fruit, and then I also throw in a scoop of greens. And whenever my son comes over, he actually gets his friends to try them because he actually doesn't like the taste, but he'll take the capsules. I love it. First thing in the morning. I've got another one, an anonymous one. She says, hi Amanda, I have a great testimonial. For the last 7 years, I have had abnormal pap smears and have been getting tested every 6 months. I had my pap this month. My last was in early May before I started Essante and Alkalizing. My pap was normal. It was abnormal due to HPV, and I am so glad it's gone. I love the earth grains and all the alkalizing products. And then we also have a great testimonial from Brian. He says, I have never really been able to eat all of my veggies. when I was younger because I would gag at the sight of different vegetables. Well, who do you know that gags at vegetables, you know, most children. Now, I can take them all, and I actually like the taste of them, and I love taking them in my shakes, and my wife, Felicia, loves taking them in her water that she now drinks on a daily basis. We love our greens. So, what does this tell you? Make sure you get your greens in. So super important. The reality is we're so fast-paced, on the go all the time. If you're working and, you know, it's so easy to stop at, like, a fast food restaurant. Stop it. Seriously, our health is #1. This is our vehicle. We only have one vehicle. So take care of it. The green capsules, like Jana had mentioned, amazing suggestion. It's easy to go. Throw them in your purse and go, you know. I personally love the greens. The greens have been very, very helpful for us. Anything else you'd like to add before we close up? Nope? Okay. Well, whoever referred you to this incredible hangout obviously means that they love you very much. And here at Essante Organics, we have these beautiful greens, but we also have over 85 products with many, many in formulation. We're constantly launching new products, all 100% chemical-free and organic. And like I tell people, you know, the integrity of any company is on the back of the label. Please make sure you read your labels. I am so grateful that you were all here tonight. I wish you such a fantastic night. Oh, and I want to also let you know there's a special on right now from last week's Hangout. If you were on the Libido Hangout, we have a his and hers red hot romance right in time for Valentine's Day. So that includes, I have it here. I do. It includes the greens, the B-tabs, and Red Hot Romance. It's on sale right now. Go to your back office. It's there. If you're a guest, make sure you get back to the person that referred you to this hangout. Thank you so much, Chris, Jen, Jana. I love you guys. To everybody watching, thank you so much for joining us tonight on our Testimonial Tuesday. Be sure to join us every Tuesday night as we have different testimonials for different products. Tomorrow, Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our Wellness Warrior Wednesday. And tonight, you know what? If you're looking to possibly take this to the next level and promote Essante Organics, we've got a live overview starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is only 30 minutes away. And you can join us at gogreengetpaid.com/live. So we'll see you there because I'll be there. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.
Bye, guys.